Sorry. I'm not getting.
Yesterday I have an interview of Microland.
Microland. Okay. Yeah.
And I clear my first round as technical round.
Great.
It's clear.
On which Active Directory?
Yeah, it's basically on AD only.
Great. I have a student in Microland, Gopal. It's a very good company.
Microland, and I asked for 13 lakhs and they agree.
वाह, क्या बात है भाई. हाँ, तुम तो अभी जंग मरते मरते कहाँ से कहाँ लेके जाओगे. Wow.
Let's see what happens.
That's
There's
great.
one and you know what the HR gave me the feedback in the evening. He told me that the technical person was very impressed with you, everything with your technical skill and your communication.
Great. Very good.
Yeah. So I asked her that then there's no problem with the package and all.
Very good. Well done. Acha. So today our topic is load balancing. Azure Traffic Manager. So we have done the load balancing. So now in load balancing, you understood how load balancer is work. Basically, load balancer work on the health probe, endpoints, IP, load balancing. This is how. But Traffic Manager, basically, it can work between any region over this Azure DNS. That is the main benefits of Traffic Manager. Okay. Let's understood KB article for Azure Traffic Manager.
Any region means different countries.
Sorry, different country, different region. Okay. Azure Traffic Manager. So let's understand the concept. So Azure Traffic Manager is a DNS-based traffic load balancer. Earlier that was a physical load balancer which is work on based on such an algorithm and such an parameter. But this is also a load balancer which is work on DNS based. This service allows you to distribute traffic to your public facing application across the global Azure region. Traffic Manager also provides you public endpoints with high availability and quick responsiveness. Traffic Manager uses DNS to direct the client request to the appropriate service endpoint based on a traffic routing method. Traffic Manager also provides health monitoring for every endpoint. The endpoint can be any internet facing service hosted inside and outside Azure. Traffic Manager provides a range of traffic routing methods and endpoint monitoring options to suit different application needs and automatic failover models. Traffic Manager is resilient to failure, including failure on entire Azure region. Got it? I mean, whenever the load balancer doesn't work, Traffic Manager will solve your problem. Because in global load balancer, there is a many region, but Traffic Manager, there is no limitation. Now Traffic Manager also, yes.
There's a lot of difference between load managers and traffic managers, because as per understanding, load manager will manage the, if there's a like heavy load or something, so then it can be transferred to the another thing, another server, right?
But load balancer is not fast, but Traffic Manager is very fast. Quickly resolution work on the DNS only. Okay. Load balancer will detect some time and then it will take action, whereas Traffic Manager is very fast, work on Azure Global DNS. Now Traffic Manager offers following features: increase application availability. Traffic Manager delivers high availability for your critical application by monitoring your endpoints and providing automatic failover when endpoint goes down. Improve application performance. Azure allows you to run cloud service and websites in data center located around the world Traffic manager can improve the responsiveness of your website by directing traffic to the endpoint and with latency. Got it? Service maintenance without downtime. You can have a planned maintenance done on your application without downtime. Traffic manager can direct traffic to alternative endpoints while the maintenance is in progress. So those are basically hybrid application. Traffic manager support external non-Azure endpoint enabling, because let's understand the concept. Combined hybrid application, what does it mean? It means if your application server is on premises and you are trying to create this application on public facing, internet facing, so you can use Azure Traffic Manager. In Azure Traffic Manager can also pick you from on premises as well. It's not mandatory that server will be must host on Azure. I will show you that options. So Traffic Manager support external non-Azure endpoint, enabling it to be used with hybrid cloud and on-premises deployments, including brush to cloud, migrate to cloud, and failover to cloud scenario. Got my point? Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay. So distribute traffic for complex deployment. Using nested traffic manager policies, multiple traffic routing methods can be combined to create sophisticated and flexible rule to scale to the needs larger, more complex deployment. Got my point?
Yes, as per my understanding, both the things are same, but the difference is here, like this is the fast and that was slow, right?
Yes, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you the difference. Difference between Azure Load Balancer and Traffic Manager. The job of Azure Load Balancer is to direct traffic inside a region. This is combined with Azure Traffic Manager, where Traffic Manager routes interior to region between virtual machines. More clarity on this. Need more clarity on this. So here it's telling the job of Azure Load Balancer is to direct traffic inside a region. This combined with Azure Traffic Manager, where Traffic Manager routes interior to a region between virtual machines. If you combine to get global Traffic Manager combined with local failover as well. Got my point? So few changes announced at Ignite include ability to support multiple IP address and reserved IP address. These are the main part. Let's check more on this.
Not much clear to that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because this is the common part of interview. They will ask you question. First of all, see. So here it's telling when should you use Azure Traffic Manager versus Azure Load Balancer. High availability is very important nowadays, as a downtime of just a couple of minutes can cause of loss of thousands, even millions dollars. Because of this, it is vital to plan the architecture of the infrastructure from the beginning of the deployment. The highest percentage and almost impossible to achieve is referenced to as a 5.9s, 999% availability. There are different Azure technologies that can use to reach high availability depending on the company's need. Every web application has its own requirement. That's why designing high availability for web apps is not easy. Many components can fail, causing downtime to the system. Using Azure, you can create a robust system that use high availability combining different technologies. This is blog post. We will look at the Azure Load Balancer and Azure Traffic Manager. How does Azure Load Balancer works? Azure Load Balancer allow you to distribute the traffic across group of backend resources or server using load balancing rules. tracking, simple example, imaging by VM Next IQ using high availability with this and web server like that. Okay, this is the normal load balancing techniques using load balancing.
So that can you explain in your terms, means what are the short things?
Load balancing, see, load balancing we've already done. Load balancing is basically nothing. It's distributing the web server load user when user is hitting the web page. It is distributing the load, because load balancer itself a device, okay, using certain algorithm. But load balancer cannot work in multiple region. Whereas, see the traffic manager. Azure Traffic Manager is a cloud-based load balancing service that allows you to control the distribution of user traffic for service endpoints. Load balancer uses, algorithm. Load balancer uses load balancing techniques. Here Traffic Manager uses endpoints. Traffic Manager is not a proxy or gateway. Traffic Manager does not see the traffic passing between the client and the service. It uses DNS to direct traffic to the appropriate backend pool. Azure Traffic Manager operates at the DNS level. Azure Load Balancer operates on the backend level. Got my point? That is the main difference. Got it?
Backend point means?
Backend means backend configurations. That is the 5 tuple I told you na. Source IP, source server, destination IP, destination server. These are the health pro.
Yeah.
That is the things. Okay. This is the main sort of difference of. You have a more article on this. You can check. Can you explain distinction between VM load balancing and no, not this one. So here, it's telling Azure Load Balancer operates at layer 4 of the open system interconnection model. It is the single point of contact for client. Load Balancer distributed inbound flow that arrive at the Load Balancer front end at two backend pool instance. These flows are according to the configuration of load balancing rule and health probe. The backend pool instance can be Azure virtual machines or instances of virtual machines scale set. So load balancer, public load balancer and internal load balancer as well. Load balancing VM within specific availability zone, load balancing VM with multiple availability set. These are the load balancing techniques. Whereas Traffic Manager, Azure Traffic Manager is a DNS based traffic load balancer. The service allows network traffic to the distributed across Azure region. Now you understood.
Yeah. Traffic Manager work on DNS.
Yes. So you understand how it's worked. So basically, Traffic Manager, it's the following features is available for Azure Traffic Manager. Azure Traffic Manager provides health monitoring, route traffic based low latency equipment, route traffic based geographic location endpoints, distributed traffic to set endpoints, route traffic to a priority endpoints, control traffic with weighted endpoints, route traffic based on user subnet, alias record for Traffic Manager, planned disaster recovery using Azure DNS and Traffic Manager. That is the core difference. Is that clear? Understood?
Yes. Yeah. Maybe if we're talking about routing process, so maybe it will use OSPF shortest method and all that.
See, generally, let's say understood. This is the front end server endpoints. These two are the endpoints, nothing but a web server. And this is on East US, and this is West Europe. These two different regions. Load balancer configured here, which is also a different region in Asia Pacific. So load balancer added this to server by using public DNS. Got it? And in this public DNS, you will manage all those stuffs. In case of primary server down, it will redirect the traffic to the secondary server fraction of second. Load balancer will take some time to redirect. Traffic manager fraction of second. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to understand the, let's implement the practical. For these practicals, I will create two virtual machine, two resource group in two different regions. So one resource group I am creating RG1, which is on East US. Another I am going to create RG2, which is on West Europe. Clear? Now automatically when you create a virtual machine using this RG1, your machine will be located in the same way. This is very simple way to create different region VM. So now I'm going to create virtual machines. The first region I'm selecting RG1, which is on East US. Virtual machine name VM01. Networking part, what we need to do, network security groups, I will make it none. Okay, click on review and plus create.
Siddharth, my voice is audible?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so one of my VM has deployment successfully. If I go to resource, it can show me on virtual machine and it is showing on East US. Very good. And also having a public IP address that is required. Next, what I need to do, I will create another VM. That is, I'll make it on RG2 VM02. Clear?
Yeah.
As you see, the location is West Europe. Click on next. Networking also you have to set none. Network security we don't need. Also go to previous, and here you have to select root admin and protocols. You need to allow what is the options where it's gone.
Which option you are getting?
I'm looking for these RDP options. Every time there is a challenge. Let's go to create new virtual machine. RG2. Oh, I see. Okay. The select port, it's there already. HTTP 80, HTTPS. That one set I have done. Very good. So root.
By default it is taking.
Yeah, by default it is taking now. Click on next. Networking, you have to disable NSG. It's saying validation failed. Virtual machine name is VM02. VM2 both is created. Okay, VM1 and VM2 both is created. Now VM1 still is in EST-US, VM2 is in West Europe. Status creating state. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Now what I need to do? I will create a load balancer. But load balancer, I will create different, resource group. That is called RGLB, which is on Canada Central. Okay. So this is the load balancer which is created on RG1, RG2, RGLB. Okay. So what I need to do, if I going to create load balance traffic manager,
so Siddharth, this traffic manager where you install means both the resource group or any particular one?
wait, I'll show you. Just see how to create traffic manager. So I'm going to create first one, that is my L traffic. Traffic manager name is L traffic.
Can you go back that once again and show me from where you get this option?
If you have to go to traffic manager options, search it from search bar and then click on create. Put your traffic manager name. My name is L traffic. Okay. L traffic. Route based I am taking is performance. This is a very good and it is weight on performance base. Resource group I will select on RGLB. Canada.
What are the other routing methods?
Actually he is asking for resource group. Any resource group you can tell. But here to show you that's two different machine in two different region. LB is also another region, but still it will work. That's what I show you in three different region. Got it? Click on create.
No, this I got it. I'm talking about routing method. There was a number of things, right?
Number of things depending on the nature. Client will tell you which routing method you use. But normal front end days we use performance base. Got my point?
Okay.
Okay. Let it be LB I will create later on. Meanwhile, I will go to virtual machines and promote websites. Same problem, and in inbound network security groups rules with destination port. Let's check. It's a very problematic actually. So many changes they made in the portal that as a result difficult for the understood. working or not. Okay, so Microsoft have created, see that virtual machine after create without network security groups you cannot log in. Okay, in that case again I am going to create network security group and attach to the subnet. Such a painful.
After that will work.
Sorry?
After by adding this network security group, this will work or not?
Let's see. Every time there is a changes, no one can tell what happened actually. So here we need to create two security groups. Got my point? Because we have a two different resource groups. Click on subnet. First associated with the RG1, RGVNet. So one load balancer is done. In this here you need to add Rdb port, (3389).
So this port is by default port number or you?
No. You need to add them.
No. 3389 whatever you added here. This is by default or we have to give from ourselves?
See brother, if it is default, why should I add this port? It is not default. Now earlier days Microsoft, if you not select NSG, Microsoft can allow you to create the take the RDP. But nowadays it's telling no, you need to must have the network security groups. That is a problem, na? Got it? Even 2-3 months before, when I have completed last cloud batch, even that is also not there. Recently they have changes. Also add port HTTPS. Now check whether fast machine will be able to log in or not. If you go to the networking, you will have the yes. Now check whether you are able to log in or not. See, now it's working. So you have to create NSG or else you will not be able to work. So fine. So first machine I have to able to log in. Go to the second, go to the same. I'll create NSG on RGS2.
Okay.
RGS2, which is on West Europe. Very good. Click on review, create. Okay. It is deploying. Go to RGS2. Okay.
Yes.
Click on subnet. Click on associate. It is not coming. Let's see. Oh, same IP address actually. Okay, so in that case, go to networking. Actually, problem happen. I'm telling you, when you have created the virtual machine, na, at that time this problem happen actually. Do one thing. So let me delete that two virtual machines and then let me create it, because so many challenges will come. Okay. Let me delete that first. And I will also delete the two unique card as well.
Big problem in Microsoft Messenger, right?
I'm not able to hear your voice.
Audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying you, this is a very big problem actually, right?
In Azure, it is a quite, every time it is changes, not possible to remember all settings, right? So that's what Microsoft giving you options. If it is somewhere run, delete it and create it. A fraction of 7 days has been deleted. What is the problem? So until you not learn it, so you will not be able to understand, right?
Yeah.
So then virtual machines, yes, virtual machine I have done. VNet, let's select a VNet, virtual networks. Both this VNet I have to delete, or else it will create a problem. One thing is wrong now, entire things will be choked. Entire things. Let's wait for all. We will create fresh machines for that. Hold on. Okay. So all my resource group deleted. Let's create
Yep.
RG1 again, which is on East US. Review and create. Great. Create same to RG2. Okay. Review and create. Here it is will be on West Europe. RG2. Very good. Then what I need to do, I will create two VM under two categories.
RG1 and RG.
Exactly. Go to create first machines. Resource group RG1 VM1. H2S Windows 2012 root admin Kolkata @1234. Allow port. So in networking, I will not stop the network NSG, whatever it is, leave it. Click on create. So one virtual machine is deploying. Go to the next one. I'm going to create on RG2. if I refresh it, then I can see you that two VM was created successfully. Now our intention to make them log in. If they are not allowed to log in, then we'll check the energy. But by default, they will allow us. Yes.
Yeah, allowed.
machines, one with VM01 and another is VM02. Perfect.
We are now connecting.
VM02 VM01. Now what I need to do, as I told, that is based on load balancing, traffic manager based on load balancing, so I have to create their public DNS. Okay, I have to create their public DNS. So as I say, DNS not configured, click on here. That is VM01.
So here, Siddharth, we will give the DNS means machine name here, right?
Exactly, but you need to check whether this machine available or not. VM01P, that is our DNS name, including West Europe Cloud app.azure.com. Click on save. So the virtual machine's DNS has been set. If I go to the overview, I can see that DNS has been set. Same like we have to go to virtual machine 2. Oh, so wrongly you have created 1 instead of 2. go to virtual machine 1. VM 01P. Perfect. So both this machine I have a DNS IP. Got it?
Yeah.
See, by virtual machine 1 I have a DNS. If I go to virtual machine 2 I have a DNS. Now what I need to do, I'll go to traffic manager. We have a traffic manager configured so far before this problem happened. I go to there, select L traffic. Now there is options called endpoints. Here we will add one after one endpoint. See, here is the options: Azure endpoint, external endpoint, or nested endpoints. So if your resources, web server is on Azure hosted, select Azure endpoints. If your web server hosted on external endpoints, on premises, and select external endpoints. If the endpoint hosted in nested, two more traffic manager, then select the nested. So here Azure endpoints. So I'll make it endpoint 1. Target resource type, cloud service. Here we'll select public IP address. This is a VM01. I have to select custom header settings. No as such. Click on add. Got it?
Yeah.
Now go to endpoint 2. Public IP address. VM02. Click on add. So now I need to do, I will go to each machine. Go to server manager, add roles, click on next. Will install web server IIS.
What is the main role of this web IIS server?
Hosting application. It is actually giving you the application browsing capability. Got my point?
Okay.
Application hosted on server. The server actually is the platform of the application. So those are the web-based application or web page. They need the platform which is from IIS.
In case, in short, what we say means IIS used for the web hosting.
IIS is actually give the platform of web hosting for the web-based application.
We need to configure IIS in both the VMs, right?
Sorry?
we have configured IIS server in both the machines.
Exactly. So this machine IIS completed. We'll go to C Windows, inetpath, www root. We'll delete the pics. We'll open it on Notepad. Okay. VM01. Just save it. Clear? Go to same server, another server. VM2. Install IIS. Now what I need to do, if I go to each machine, first of all, each machine and browse their DNS, I hope page will open.
Okay.
It's working. M02, browse their own internal DNS, page will open. But my concern not to access the page based on the DNS. My concern is I will browse it from over the traffic manager. Now traffic manager will decide based on the endpoint configure which one he will make the priority. That is the traffic manager URL or DNS. So you will browse it this one.
Either it will represent V1 or V2, right?
ltraffic.trafficmanager.net. Once it is pointing, it is by default pointing web page VM02. Why? If I go to the endpoints, see, it is firstly pointing to the endpoint 02. Okay. Now what happened? In case of my VM02, I mean VM02 is crash. Let's say go to virtual machine, VM02 open. Now make it stop due to some reason.
Okay.
Wait for that.
Then in this case it will go to VM1.
Exactly, that will be the nature. So that's what I'm opening with a new incognito mode. Still it is trying to hit web server 2. And found there is a problem.
Page cannot breach.
No, this is my internet problem actually.
Internet problem?
Might be.
But you are connected now.
Let's see. Stopped, deallocated. Now go to the traffic manager. And use this same URL. Response. So this is the Azure problem, saying it took long to respond. Got my point? Let's see my endpoint public address. Let's see my secondary server, first server is working or not. Let's see.
So Siddharth, in endpoint you provide there only VM2, right?
Both I have added now. Both
you added?
endpoint I have added. If I go to the endpoint traffic manager, you will see in traffic manager both the endpoint I have added. Endpoint 1 and endpoint 2 both.
Yeah, you added. Okay. So I think it is taken the V101 right now, right?
Might be due to some issues. That's it. Wait, let's see. See that. So this is the problem from load balancing, traffic management end. That is not my problem. Okay. So initially it will take some time to recognize what exactly happening, and then it fell over to VM01. Got it?
Okay.
So this is how load balance works, based on only external DNS. No routing based tool, no backend, no health probe, nothing. Just based on external DNS routing.
So whenever we stop the one of the VM, then it will automatically go to the next one, right?
Yes, but minimum 1 minute you have to give some time. Got it? Clear?
The method is the same, which you told, right?
Sorry?
Whatever the method you told me is right for the creation of endpoint and traffic manager, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That is load balancer we will learn. Next week we will go into backup. Backup vault. Might be, I will check any short topic will come, then I will finish it, because backup storage both is very long. Okay. Very short storage tip come, will first complete it. Azure architect is very huge, brother. It's very huge.
And Siddharth, we not run backup in the server, na?
Mm-hmm.
We skip backup topic we skip in server, right?
In on-premises,
Yeah.
I already told you how to do the backup.
No, you told me the backup for the normal only. But if you check, there are many backup, na? Like incremental, code incremental,
That
everything.
is, that kind of things is not available. That need a specific tools like Tivoli, like Symantec. Okay. That is a different license tool. All features cannot be available. What is the default feature for Windows, that I told. Now there is a techniques to, you cannot delete the load balancer directly. So first you have to delete the endpoints. Then only you have to delete the load balancer, or else you do not have to delete.
Okay.
Go to the second part, delete.
Mhm.
Perfect. Now you have options to delete the and delete all the resource group one by one.
Who's your background?
Sorry?
Who is in your background? Someone?
I'm not getting what you're telling.
Someone is in your background? Means
No, no,
it's
no.
really, yeah.
No, I'm alone. So today our practical end here. Let me save the files.